Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and call this regular scheduled February 24th meeting to order at 7 p.m. Commissioner Maison will be joining us before we get to the Pledge of Allegiance. Approval agenda as is published. Second. Changes. I got a motion from Commissioner Martin, second. Congress question on the motion on the floor from the dais. Public comment question on the motion on the floor. Motion passed unanimously. Commissioner Maison absent. I'd like to invite Pastor Ralph Williams to the podium to give tonight's invocations from Newberry Church of the Nazarene. We'll let Commissioner Maison's going to do the invocation, but no, he's going to come on down here and
check you, man. He's looking good tonight.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you would please rise for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. It will follow. Pastor Ralph, thanks for being here.
Thank you. May we pray. Father, we thank you this evening for this time together. We thank you for your love, your mercy, and your grace. We're thankful for this commission that meets to determine the welfare and the direction of our fair city. We pray that you would bless them tonight. We pray that you would give them clear hearts, clear minds. We pray that you would help them to have courage to address the hard things. Give us all grace to celebrate the good things. And above all, Father, give us your love that we might endure all things. We thank you and we praise you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Commissioner Clark.
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pastor Williams. We appreciate that. We are going to move to presentations. I'd invite, there she is, already standing, Miss Stacy. Come on down and introduce our new building team members. Yeah, we like to make you stand up and embarrass you. Come on down.
But okay. Good evening. Just a few short months ago, we didn't have many people hanging out in our building department. And in just a few short months, we now have a full staff again. And I'd like to introduce each of the members to you, if I can get... There we go. So on January 27th of this year, we were a fully staffed building department. I'd like to introduce Ashley Monk. She's our Permit Tech 1. I'd like to introduce Michael Booth. He's our Permit Tech 2. We have Tony Carpenter, which many of you already know. He was in our facilities department. And then we have the wonderful David Meyer here as our new building official. David and I have a little history from Levy, so it was great and an easy transition. And I would like to have all of you welcome them, and I think they're going to be an amazing team if they are not already. So thank you for letting me introduce them. So
Now, she told you just a short 10, 15-minute speech apiece. No problem. Well, welcome to everybody. Appreciate people who are moving over. Appreciate people coming from other counties, bringing all the experience you have. We look forward to working with you. You might have noticed there's a little bit of building going on, so we depend on high-level professionals such as yourselves to make sure everybody's doing things the right way, following the law, and that all the residents are safe and all the people that work in those buildings are also safe when they come to work. So I appreciate you guys, and great job bringing everybody up to speed. Well done.
thank you. Appreciate it.
Welcome. Anybody
Yes.
got any questions?
Thanks,
Thank you. Welcome to Newberry. And as a special treat, nobody has to stay all night long, so,
Yes.
as they already make their way towards the door.
Special accommodation to Mr. Myers. I believe today is his wedding anniversary.
It is.
Oh, my
He
goodness.
chose the city commission over his wife, so
Well,
might be the last anniversary.
next one is always fun, FMEA Restoring Communities Award. Mr. Green, you're going to tell us all about this. It was such a laundry list of awards that Newberry has racked up this year at the State of the City. You guys have just been doing an amazing job.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. The city of Newberry was one of 28 public power utilities recently recognized by the Florida Municipal Electric Association with the Restoring Communities Award. The award recognizes public power utilities for their exemplary power restoration efforts in their communities and the providing or receiving mutual aid following significant weather events or when fellow public power communities needed extra assistance. This year, the city of Newberry sent crews to Tallahassee to help after the tornadoes, and we was there for a week helping them out. And we actually, after Hurricane Helene, we went and helped Central Florida Electric restore their power for, it was 7 to 10 days that we worked with them. So we went above and beyond trying to help our fellow neighbors out.
I love those pictures, and I apologize. I had the proclamation. I was supposed to have a proclamation? No, we just have the award. Okay, then you don't have to listen to me read anything in. But I love those pictures, especially it was a Tallahassee class and a nice picture. And we have, and I guess we're going to let Rance take the picture. Jamie, you want to come down and take the picture too? Rance is going to take the picture. But we have this beautiful plaque for Restoring Communities Award, and Newberry really did set a seal this year. So come on in here.
Yeah, I gotta get Rams
Oh, we
in.
got this. Hang on. How's that?
That's good. Got it.
All right, good job. Send that. When the power goes out, we all remember what's priority number one, right? Okay, the next one is a mayor's proclamation. We're going to recognize this from the Florida Association of City Clerks, Miss Leanne Williams. Did you want to come up first? And come on down.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. Oh, hold on here. Let's pull that down a bit, just a bit. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Commission, City Attorney, Madam City Clerk. I am Leanne Williams. I am the Deputy City Clerk for the City of Alachua, and I am the Northeast District Director for the Florida Association of City Clerks. I am here tonight to present a resolution from the Florida Association of City Clerks recognizing Judy Rice for 35 years of service to the City of Newberry. At this time, Judy, would you like to join me, or would you like to wait until after the reading of the resolution? It's lengthy. You just sit there. Resolution 2579, a resolution of the Florida Association of City Clerks commending City Clerk Judy Suggs Rice, MMC, for 35 years of service and dedication to the City of Newberry. Whereas Judy Suggs Rice began her career in public service in the City of Newberry approximately 35 years ago in 1990, and whereas Judy Rice was sworn as a Deputy City Clerk beginning in 1997, served as Finance Director from 2002 to 2012, and has served as a City Clerk since 2012. And whereas Judy Suggs Rice received her CMC in 2008 and her MMC in 2019. And whereas Judy Suggs Rice has other certifications, specifically the Florida Certified Records Manager, Certified Supervisory Manager, and Certified Public Manager. And whereas Judy Suggs Rice served on the Florida League of Cities Utilities, Natural Resources, and Public Works Legislative Policy Committee from 2016 to 2021. And whereas Judy Suggs Rice has served with distinction and dedication to the City of Newberry, constantly demonstrating the highest standard of service. And whereas Judy Suggs Rice has served as a respected leader within the City of Newberry, providing guidance and support to her colleagues and contributing to the overall success of the government. Now therefore be it resolved that by the Florida Association of City Clerks that 1, the Florida Association of City Clerks offers its sincere appreciation and extends congratulations on behalf of its members to Judy Suggs Rice, MMC, in recognition of her 35 years of dedicated service and professionalism to the City of Newberry and its citizens. 2, this resolution shall take effect immediately upon adoption and authentication by the signature of the President of the Florida Association of City Clerks, presented on February 5th, 2025.
Post for the picture now. You got to post for the picture.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, Miss Judy, I'm going to let you go back and sit down, but we're going to proclaim you all over again. So go ahead and have a seat. We're just going to proclaim you up and down the halls tonight. It's going to be. It's going to leave after. So. That's true. But the City of Newberry would like to also offer the following proclamation. Whereas Ms. Judy Suggs Rice has faithfully served the city of Newberry since February 15, 1990, and was hired as a utility clerk and the third female city employee, and was sworn in as deputy city clerk effective July 1st, 1997, and became the director of finance in October of 2002. Whereas Judy then founded the city's finance department and was selected as city clerk effective on October 1st, 2012. Whereas during her tenure, Judy has consistently increased her understanding of best practices, new technologies, and emerging trends with active membership in the Florida Records Management Association, Florida Government Finance Officers Association, Florida Association of City Clerks, Florida League of Cities, and Florida Institute of Government. And whereas through her 35 years of service to Newberry, Judy has continued her education to the betterment of her profession and the city. And whereas Judy represented the city of Newberry on the Florida League of Cities, Utilities, Natural Resources, and Public Works Legislative Policy Committee from 2016 through 2021. And whereas Judy has consistently increased her knowledge and skills by earning certifications, including the Florida Certified Records Manager, Certified Municipal Clerk, Master Municipal Clerk, Certified Supervisory Manager, and Certified Public Manager. And whereas Judy has consistently strived to improve procedures and processes for the benefit of Newberry's residents, businesses, and employees. And now, therefore, I, Mayor Jordan Marlowe, on behalf of the City Commission, citizens, and employees of the city of Newberry, do hereby issue this proclamation to Judy Suggs Rice in recognition of her 35 years of exemplary service to the city of Newberry. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the great seal of the city of Newberry, Florida, to be affixed unto this 24th day of February in the year 2025. And I don't mind if anyone wants to stand up again and give Miss Judy another. Come on, fellas.
Got two of these
Yeah.
in one night.
Hold on, y'all let the commission get, they're coming, they're coming.
Let the shoulders to the front.
Yeah, we got everybody? Everybody in there?
No,
Bonnie still?
Bonnie's still.
Kathy, 1, 2, 3, smile. Got it.
We appreciate you.
An individual, you're going
Thank you so much.
Well done. You want to say some words?
How'd that go?
He's moving his office to Newberry.
I really wasn't prepared for this, but I do want to say thank you so much, and for the recognition at the State of the City. I am really touched. Thank you, Miss Leanne, for coming over. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
We appreciate you. 35 years, absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, that takes us to public announcements. Your commission likes to hear from you early and often, so they set aside this time at the beginning of the night. You got a 2-minute public announcement. If you want something a little more controversial you want to talk about, you got a 5-minute period at the end of the night. Anybody have anything they want to let us know? Come on down, sir.
How are y'all this evening? My name is Chris Mack, Newberry Main Street Organization. We had our Blues and Barbecue Festival this past weekend. It was an absolute success. I'm here to thank the City Commission, a ton of the city workers, the support that you gave us, the great volunteers that you gave us, just the participation in general. We appreciate it. We cannot do it without the support of the city. We feel completely supported. You guys are awesome, and I just want to thank each and every one of you for all of your help and support.
Absolutely. Well, as I
Good
always
job.
say to you, thank you guys, because it takes an army of volunteers.
It does.
And you bring the army, and we
It
bring
does.
the support.
It's
And
awesome.
together we make it happen. But you guys are on the front lines.
Well,
and,
we appreciate
it's fun.
that,
It's
so,
wonderful.
yes, sir.
What was there a count? I know last year.
A little over 10,000. Yeah, yeah. So
It was-
last year we were between 13 and 14. It was actually way more than we even were prepared for. This year a little bit smaller. We had a slow start with the weather, but we're going to make some changes. And every year we make this. This is only our second one, so every year we're going to make this a little bit better. But it was excellent. It was a great time. I think the city really benefited from it. I know I've spoke to several of the local business owners, and they had some really good days. So that's what Main Street is about. That's what we do this for. The festivals are fun and it's wonderful, but we do it to, increase business and revenue for the local businesses. So I think it was a success. And again, it was that way because of all the support that the city of Newberry gives us. So,
It was steady all day long.
yeah. Thank you guys
Steady
very
all day
much. I
long.
appreciate it.
Thank you. Any other public comment? I really appreciate them changing the barbecue judges to one meat category judges. That was an excellent change because I did the chicken and then I had to tap out. That was it. Last call. Yeah. All right. Yeah. One bite of 13 or 14 entries and it was like a feast, you know. I might have had 2 bites of my favorite, okay? All right, do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as it was published? I have a motion from Commissioner Maison, second from Commissioner Martin. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passed unanimously. That takes us to item 8, which is second reading of ordinance 2025-01/LDR 2427. Mr. Attorney, would you please read that into the record?
Yes, sir. Mr. Mayor, this is an ordinance of the City of Newberry, Florida, establishing the Highland Park Community Development District pursuant to Chapter 190 of the Florida statutes, providing for the district's external boundaries, providing for the functions and powers of the district, providing for the initial board of supervisors of the district, addressing correction of scrivener's errors, acknowledging the additional parcels identified in the petition for a future expedited boundary amendment pursuant to Section 190.0461 H1 of the Florida statutes, providing for severability and providing for an effective date. The appropriate motion at the appropriate time is to pass ordinance number 2025-01 LDR 24-27 upon its reading by title only.
Thank you, sir. John Paul, take it away.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. John Paul Perez with the Community Development Department. Second reading of the Highland Park Community Development District. I'll be brief, given it is second reading. Did want to touch on one thing that occurred between first and second reading. We got the consultant memorandum back. That touched on a few questions as well as compliance with Florida Statute 190. And just one topic about the budget that we want to just mention to the commission. For the commission's knowledge, Jennifer Kalinsky with Kalinsky Van Wyck is also in the audience, as well as Travis Haste, who's the engineer of record. Jennifer being the agent on this particular application and a specialist in community development districts. So the recommended motion remains the same. It is a motion to adopt the ordinance as presented to the commission. I'll be providing some corrections to the memorandum that's attached to the staff report in the application package. There were just some legal corrections that were mildly not accurate, but don't affect the petition in any way that would, if you approve it today, would be, compromising to your decision. So. The Riverview CDD is not a real or specific CDD, as mentioned in the memorandum. There are plenty of CDDs in Riverview, Florida, though there is not one named Riverview. CDDs are a governmental entity and not a quasi-governmental entity, so a clarification of language there, and also some clarifications about city responsibility. The city is not responsible for ensuring board appointments or financial solvency, and the city has no real responsibility for resolving disputes, ensuring accountability or transparency. Those are all up to the state. So, applicant is Newberry Plaza LLC.
John Paul.
Oh, yes.
Go back to one slide.
Yes, sir.
All of those things are the responsibility of the state. So it's not the responsibility of the city. So
As I
there
understand
is-
it, unless I'm corrected, they are responsibilities of the state. The transparency, solvency.
If someone complains, they
Disputes.
complain to Tallahassee, they don't complain to Newberry.
They complain to the district
Okay.
supervisors,
All right.
Awesome. Awesome, thank you.
Could you repeat her answer into the microphone?
The complaints and the other items listed all go from the residents to the board of the district.
And if the complaint is about the board, then they go to Tallahassee, which I guess is where my mind was going to, so. And she is identifying yes.
Exactly, they could go to the commission on ethics or.
Right.
Yeah.
Could you repeat that in the mic?
Yep. If they need to take it beyond the district, they would take it to the Commission on Ethics. Agent that you just heard from, Jennifer, in the audience. The district covers about 104 acres approximately. It's a portion of the Highland Park. This is just the residential stuff that you're seeing. This particular application, different from other ones, did identify some future properties. They do need to notify these folks, and we understand that they have been notified. Getting into the cost estimate, the offsite improvements, this is the only thing I wanted to really bring to your attention. Covers $2 million, which is the entirety of the offsite improvements, including decel lanes, the traffic signal, et cetera. One of the questions that staff posed to Scott Steady, the consultant that was reviewing on behalf of the city, was whether that dollar value needs to be commensurate or equatable to the benefit of the residents of the district, since they don't necessarily, the 350 single-family homes trigger the requirement for signalization. There's a unanimous agreement amongst the applicant and ourselves that they should be commensurate, though these budgets are not final, and that'll be something that'll be resolved during the review of pretrial testimony and whatnot with the state. So this was the response from the applicant, the agent, and, oh, yes, sir. They've identified their 5 board members. This application's been reviewed by city agencies, independent counsel, and we'll be notifying the property appraiser as well as the supervisor of elections. They satisfied all the essentials for getting a CDD approved with the city. We do find it consistent with the land development regulations, and we do not find that this particular application represents a negative impact on public interest. And our motion is to adopt.
Okay. Ms. Jennifer, did you have anything that you wanted to present here tonight, or are you just here to answer any questions if there are some? Okay. Do I have that motion? I have a motion from Commissioner Clark.
Second.
Second from Commissioner Maison. Okay, any comments or questions on the motion on the floor from the dais? Commissioner Farnsworth.
Back, some slides back where they had the green part. Now, has Highlands acquired that property, or is it under contract, or what is the status of that?
They have not yet acquired those properties, Commissioner Farnsworth.
Okay. If they do, does the CDD transfer over to that, or do they have to get another one?
So I think this is a recent change in the statute, 2024. They have to identify them. That provides them an expedited process with the state, but with the city, they still go through the same process. So once they go to add these properties to the district, they'll make another application to the city. The city will review, will present to the commission in ordinance form, so 2 hearings, and then you get to make a decision at that time.
Okay.
Jennifer's here to answer any questions.
Yeah.
And who appointed Jose Marino to
So the expedited boundary amendment process under Chapter 190 allows you to identify a parcel. Oh, sorry, I apologize. Yeah, Jennifer
You got me
Klinsky,
confused over there. It's his fault.
Jennifer Klinsky, the applicant's, the petitioner's agent for this CDD establishment. So the way that the statute now works, a couple years ago was changed. If you can identify and notice a potential boundary amendment parcel, you wouldn't have to resubmit an entire petition to the city. It would be an expedited boundary amendment process relying on the petition filed, but you would still have to have a first and second reading on an ordinance amendment before you. So we would just bring this petition back just like it is today. Wouldn't have to go back through the whole review process because everything is remaining the same, and then there would be a first and second reading for you to consider that still.
Commissioner Farnsworth, you still have the floor. Good. Was there Commissioner Martin?
I just wanted to reiterate for this CDD my opposition to them. Per the presentation, obviously it is governmental. So passage of it does add to government, and that's not my thing. We may not be responsible, but we will certainly field the phone calls. I'll remind you of that as well. And the reason these are favorable is because you are inserting the power and force of government into the equation to make these things viable. for the entities involved. So for those reasons, I'm opposed, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Newberry, if the green parcel is added, then to Commissioner Farnsworth's question, the cost of the off-site improvements are amortized across everyone, or is it just the initial still paying for that and the other people get a different deal? Everyone that's in that CDD ends up paying the same amount? Is that right or wrong?
Yes, it's a somewhat complicated question in that so if the district were to issue tax exempt bonds, and to Commissioner Martin's point, that's largely why special districts are used. There's actually a report that just came out about the tax savings to Floridians because of special districts. There was just a big report from the Collins Institute. And the reason for that is so when we spread tax exempt bonds, if the district were to finance the offsite improvements, once that property was added, it would generally be distributed pro rata to every unit equally. But it may be that there are other improvements added as a result of that property. So everybody's going to get an equal share and no assessment's going to be higher than any other property within the district. So if there's a 50-foot lot in the red and the 50-foot lot in the green, they're going to have the same amount of assessments. So it's either going to all go down because there's more units, or there will be additional improvements from that property that then get assessed.
I got you. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Other questions, comments? No? Okay. Public comments or questions on the motion on the floor, which is to approve the CDD on second reading. Okay. Roll call. Commissioner Coleman?
Aye.
Commissioner Clark? Commissioner Farnsworth?
Aye.
Commissioner Martin?
No.
Commissioner Mazon?
Yes.
Motion passes 4-1 with Commissioner Martin in dissent. That takes us to item number 9, parking in downtown Newberry. I can't wait. Right? I love the foresight, looking ahead, right? What's the plan?
All right, good evening one more time. I want to introduce Chelsea Bakaitis. She's our newest planner. I've introduced her to before, but this will be her first official presentation to the City Commission, so. Sure.
Yes, Bakaitis.
Bakaitis.
Yes.
Thank you.
Right. Lithuanian. Yeah. All right. For the record, my name is Chelsea Bakaitis. I know Ms. Hectus just introduced me. Let's get this. I'm excited to finally present in front of you, commissioners and mayor. Oh. Okay.
That's what I
No.
was just reading over here to see if that was read as I. I think that's the one we just put on the contract.
A few more slides after that in the packet.
Yeah, might want to.
Page 32 in my packet.
I'm from Illinois. Lexington, Illinois. Lexington, Illinois. Oh, yes, yes, trust me.
All right, take us into it.
All right.
We found it.
So today, we're asking you to hear the staff presentation and provide comment. So, simple enough. So why are we here? A few months ago, Mike New said that he heard from you, the commission, and the mayor that there was a need for parking downtown. So he asked me and Nikki Bailey, our GIS analyst, right there, to create a parking study for the downtown so we can analyze what is there currently and what is there in the future. So it's outlined in the CRA plan, and I think it's important to read it out loud. It says the goal is to create convenient, safe parking to support retail, restaurant, cultural, and office facilities within the redevelopment area by enhancing existing parking and expanding parking opportunities when possible. So that's why we're here, to revitalize the downtown. So why is public parking important? First, it's an inefficient of use of land for private lots. If you just have a bunch of private lots here and there, you get what this map right here at Lake Worth Beach. You can see this is a picture of the downtown. The yellow spots are where the parking is, and parking takes up a lot of their downtown. And so we don't want, as we're growing, since we're still small enough, this is the opportunity now to grow in a smart way, especially when it comes to parking and making our downtown look beautiful. You know, you walk through, you see buildings, you're not seeing parking lot after parking lot after parking lot. Another important reason public parking is important is because it's a business incentive, not only for existing businesses, but also for new businesses. If there's enough parking, then they will come. So this is a map of the area we're looking at. Specifically, we're looking at, I don't know if there's a laser on here.
There is, but it doesn't show on the screen.
Oh, okay. So specifically, we're looking at the downtown area, which is within the CRA area. So existing on-street, this number came from FDOT. When FDOT did the one-way pair study, they found that there was 109 existing on-street parking lots. And when Nikki and I went out and we looked at what parking spots, as far as parking lots there are currently, we actually found that there was 92. That number's wrong. We added some additional lots after we submitted the presentation, so I apologize for that. So that's good. So we have some more. So
You talking about the on-street parking is correct, 109.
Yeah.
The existing parking lot is actually 92.
Yeah, so add 92 to 109, which I'm not going to do off the top of my head right now, but 20, okay, there you go.
He beat me by 1 second. I'm so good at
Oh,
math, but he 1 second. I always get the math right.
Ah, okay. Okay, so FDOT found that future on-street parking spaces, once the one-way pairs is complete, there will be 134 on-street parking spots.
You know, Newberry trucks are a little bigger than those.
Yeah. Okay.
Just check.
And Nikki and I found that future off-street parking spaces, this is just in the downtown area, there would be 22 added, and this is basically the area around City Hall. So that would be 156. Oh,
Commissioner Martin.
So this is in addition to the prior page?
correct, yes.
Okay.
Yes. So here's a map you all are very familiar with, the one-way pair map. So that would be on-street parking along these two roads right here. And this is the map that Nikki Bailey had put together. So I'll just kind of walk you through it, just so it's not confusing.
Commissioner Martin.
Sorry, I got kind of a linear brain.
Yeah.
These additional spots are after the one-way pairs are done, right? Nikki's shaking her head behind you.
Correct, yes.
So, and what you're highlighting on page, I guess, 39, this one, is a lot of those are coming from the rungs of the ladders in that design where we were talking about adding the spaces on all the rungs of the ladder, right?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Yes, correct.
All right, I'm with you.
Okay, perfect.
There's the ladder streets that connects, right. And that will change the numbers because the on-street parking, by and large, is going away with the two-way pairs. But we're adding on-street parking in the ladder roads in between. So I know on First Avenue, there's still a couple of on-street parking. What about is there still anything on this one? Just a couple. But we're on one side. But the ladder streets that connect new Newberry Road to existing Newberry Road will expand it tremendously.
Exactly. So here's this map. The non-shaded lots represent the lot with existing spots only. The shaded polygons represent new parking spaces that could be located there. If they're red, then that means that the city owns them. If they're blue, that means this lot is owned by a private individual currently, but the city could look into purchasing these vacant lots to build more parking lots. Green means that the lot belongs to a church or club such as the First Baptist Church or the Lions Club.
Well, we have an agreement. We have an agreement right now. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Mayor, like Mr. Tate's place right here. I mean, we would end up having to buy that if we.
mean, I think there's an option to buy. I think that there's also, like, I've talked to the Lions Club, there might be an agreement where if we pave the parking lot, they'll leave it open to, they only need it on the days that they do their flea market, right? And then they meet Tuesday nights, right? So I think, and there might be some opportunities, there might be somebody who's building a church down that way that they might want to pave parking lot that they don't mind if people use it, every day except Sunday morning, right? So I think we may have to buy some, there may be some other opportunities.
But we won't do, what's it called, where you go in,
Oh, no. Go ahead.
Okay. So our calculation for new parking lot spaces, if we're able to, if best case scenario, I'm not saying we're going to do that, but best case, all the lots that are accounted for on this map, it would be 232 spaces. All right, thank you. Again, the recommendation was to hear staff presentation and provide comment. Thank you for your time, commissioners and mayor.
Okay, let's, before she goes away, any of these spots that you really want to give staff feedback, that we're interested in more of these, less of these, that kind of thing, you want to just take this away? Or do you want to give them that feedback? I really like the blue lot down there at the end, because I can see, especially the two-way pairs, our historic downtown stretching from the light, or from the railroad tracks all the way down to Lowisport Park. We've tried for a long time to get the parking lot behind the bank, behind the doc's office now. I think that still is a great, you guys with a lot of foresight got, a spot down Seaboard Drive that could be turned in. I know that the Tates have some interesting ideas. They might be a partner with us, as we move forward in something. Is there an area of town that you think we're not hitting, or you think this map is fairly comprehensive? It gives us something kind of here in the middle, down at the end.
I got two questions.
Commissioner Farnsworth.
I'm find the right area. Oops, so, strategic plan revitalization of Newberry downtown area. Exactly what does that mean?
Mr. Mayor, that's out of your adopted 5-year strategic plan. The commission adopted a goal to revitalize the downtown Newberry area with there's several objectives underneath that goal. The one that met this presentation was to improve the infrastructure.
So when was the downtown area vitalized?
That was, your plan was to.
We're working on it now.
It's part of your 5-year adopted plan. was to
Yeah.
revitalize
Because
the area.
I don't know that it's ever been vitalized since
That's because we're
in
still
the
in the
69 years I've been here, but, 69 years, maybe. But, I'm okay for extra parking and stuff, but I don't know, there's not really a whole lot of area that could be developed to be more than it is. The businesses downtown seem to be, all the buildings seem to be in use. So, is it really a necessity for us to have more parking is what I'm wondering. And also the Pocket Park to the east of us here is not listed as a piece of city-owned property, which is right downtown, so I don't know whether that was taken into consideration when you did your survey.
I think the commission directed staff to do the park. No, it was, well, you guys I'll miss that meeting, but y'all got the presentation from the college kids, and then you got a grant that also identified, so you have that being revitalized as a park. So it wouldn't be available as a parking lot.
Okay. All right, well, I don't know that we need to be spending a whole lot of money or our staff time trying to find parking spaces that really aren't needed.
Mr.
I
Mayor,
can tell you that 1906 has reached out to me just from the loss of the parking lot next to the municipal court, and they're feeling it. And
Well, I'm sure,
Yeah.
but whenever we have the two-way pairs, along with the
It'll
extra
help.
parking from the new city hall, then
Yeah.
they should have plenty of parking also.
And I gotta tell you, I was sweating the barbecue festival this year, because last year, the barbecue festival, you couldn't get through town. That was
Yeah,
so
but we
many.
keep preparing for, two festivals a year by spending taxpayer money
Yeah.
just to accommodate festivals.
All right, other,
Mr. Mayor.
Yeah.
Commissioner Martin, and then manager.
Claire, what for your first job, did a good job. The 232 spaces, the calculated new parking spaces, that part comes from where? I know it's on here, but which colors represent the 232?
So we should have not used the word new right there and calculated new parking spaces.
Okay.
We should have used the word total. So that would be total if everything on this map was became parking.
Okay.
Yes. So I
Okay.
apologize for that confusion.
So that would be in addition to any of the street parkings as well, correct?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Manager Lee.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor. Some background on where this came from. A couple months ago, as part of our downtown strategies plan, we held a listening workshop with the local businesses. I believe Mr. Mack was there from Newberry Main Street, and one of the biggest things we heard from businesses in the downtown area is the biggest way we could support them was by identifying more parking in the downtown area. And so that's where Manager New got that idea from to direct staff to design this parking plan.
Well, and it's really important to remember that when the two-way pairs come through, staff's current plan is to rezone everybody central business district, which reduces the amount of parking each business has to provide for itself. But CBD only really works if you have communal parking for everybody. I agree with the concept of CBD. Otherwise, you get that picture that you showed up of the other city where 30-40% of their downtown is all parking lots. I don't think parking lots are very attractive. I don't want to look at an ocean of parking lots. I'd like to say, yeah, we've got parking lots spread out around that everyone is equally used to, but right now, we really don't, right? We've got the municipal parking lot, we'll have City Hall parking lot, you've got the annex parking lot, which is unpaved parking lot, but the biggest parking lot behind the dock's office is a privately held parking lot, and the dock has shut that down to open, it's not open to the public. And then if you go a block down that way, you're out. There is nothing except the on-street parking. So if the idea is to help the downtown grow from, the size that we've said we wanted to grow to, then how do we get the parking lot? And we need to have it in place before the two-way pairs come through, because we saw this exacerbates Dr. Hedges coming in because he was rezoning to CBG on, see what I say? Thank you. Yes. Too many acronyms. And that was a problem because we all remember Joel's Coffee and the high traffic and how much that the neighbors complained. And he was kind of the tip of the spear, right? He was the first one rezoning to that, saying, well, and he was able to work out a deal with the Lions Club to kind of have his employees park down there. But I think you multiply Dr. Hedges' issue across the entirety of the downtown, and I agree with Commissioner Farnsworth. If you get the on-street parking there, it sounds like we got a lot. But if all of those businesses, if everybody sells out to doctors' offices and lawyers' offices and accounting offices, now I think we need to be able to point to some community downtown parking. And I know all of the restaurants think that the problem with parking is one of their problems with getting people to come in. Commissioner Coleman was next.
You know where the big scoop rock thing, where my booth was, across the railroad track there? Is that owned by CSX? Right there by the barber shop.
It is.
But it's big enough, there had to be 25, 30 cars at this thing this weekend parked over there. can we designate, that's the, I mean, I'm sure CSX wouldn't mind. I mean, I know my father
we
worked there
do-
for 40 years. You had to beg, borrow, and steal.
CSX has a favor that they wanted to ask from the city. Jamie, can you speak to
You know
that?
which one I'm talking about? Right here?
So we potentially may have an opening
Right across the tracks.
to have these conversations. So far, those have not gone over. Mr. Jones, you want to tell us our current strategy to enter into those negotiations?
So to answer the commissioner's question, we do have a lease arrangement on the west side of the tracks at that location. We don't have a lease on the east side. We have been working with the Seaboard or CSX and the Florida Northern Railroad to try to relocate the transload site. So that may be an opening to have that discussion.
I mean, there was 30 cars parked right there.
I mean, I really do. I understand completely why staff hasn't identified them, because so far those emails pretty well go unanswered. But they're about to move their loading station somewhere else. They need something from us. I just can't quite remember what that is, but that would be an excellent time to say, we would love to help you, but we need a little bit of help down here. I don't think we even need to own the land. We just need the lease agreement.
Yeah, yeah.
Let us pave the parking lot, because that's an awful lot on both sides. And to have a sidewalk there to get people to stop walking across the railroad tracks would be,
Well, even a little bit farther down towards the water tower, there's a lot of land in between there too. But
correct. No. Commissioner Martin.
I was kind of curious about the commission's appetite, once the new city hall gets up and running, whether or not the annex is a building that we should consider actually tearing down and paving that lot there, because we would end up with a handful of more spaces. And one thing I like about that is people going to 1906 are not necessarily crossing the street. And the more than that can be like a human Frogger game coming out over from the municipal building parking lot. But I'd be curious what you all have to say about that.
Mr.
No
Mayor.
commitments per se, but
Paving of the annex parking lot is part of DOT's plan when they do the twin pairs. So that is part of our
He's talking
negotiation.
about taking the whole building.
They're going to pave the existing lot and turn it into parking. So they're not going to tear down the building, but they'll pave the existing lot.
tear down, how many,
Parking spots with that, Phil.
yeah, just what do y'all think?
Or if you big wide mouth though, it expands that whole mouth over there to get in there. Now you're all funneled down. Two cars really can't get through there.
Yeah.
So you need to expand the mouth of the cars, traffic going in. So-
We did have a plan with the owner of 1906 to open up, because right now there's a fence there. And if we could open up that back and use that as parking, then his food trucks could pull around and back out through. I mean, I think that's an idea that we should definitely advertise. That was Newberry's first, the police department was in there a long time ago. I think it'd be something you'd want to take to the HARB, see what, get feedback anytime you tear down a historic building.
What about the country kitchen back behind there? We can't still park back there at all?
There's employee parking back there, but each business only has 2-3 spots back there, 2 or 3 spots. And then the parking lot itself is chained off.
Lease that parking lot?
We're trying. We're trying.
I mean, because there's a lot of parking there between the library and,
We've tried leasing, we've tried buying, we're still trying.
If it's a liability issue, we take it to the city parking anyway.
Yep. Those have been ongoing conversations for a long time, but,
Who's involved in it, Mr. Mayor?
well, the manager was, I've been a couple of times, but the doctor passed away, his son is there now, so I think that there's opportunity to go back and make some of the same offers over again and see.
Yep.
Commissioner Maison?
Yes. What about 254th Street, making it a one-way and then turning it into angle parking? It's right there next to 1906. You have that drawn-out median where everybody parks anyway. You can turn that into a one-way street and then have angle parking on both sides.
it used to,
I actually think that's not a bad idea.
I know, I was
That's
sitting
the-
there thinking, I was thinking of Savannah,
Yeah.
up there in the downtown.
I need to see that in my
One of
head
those,
before I,
they have.
So, yeah, so the street kind of goes like this right here,
yeah.
right? Just make it an angle. That way it's a one-way street going south, and you just go out.
Pretty good
Come in, park. That's
That,
a ton of
You
parking.
need to wear this shirt more often.
It's not the shirt, it's the driving that I do every day.
Mr. Mayor,
I don't know, that's.
Commissioner Martin?
I'd only,
Ponder on it.
That's gonna require a little thought.
Yeah. Commissioner Martin?
I mean, I think it's a creative idea. I do remember we used to have the planter in there,
Yeah, the plan.
and that got taken out because the fire trucks couldn't make the turn. So whether or not that would inhibit parking spaces probably should be entertained at least, but I would bet there's probably enough space to do it on the one side at least.
I wanna hear Jamie.
Okay, Jamie, you want to wait? I don't want to waylay
Jamie's-
the night on
Jamie's circling.
presentation.
I wanna
But
hear Jamie.
Jamie,
Jamie's
come on
circling.
down and tell us what you think about that or any of the other comments here. Did you?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, just real quick. So when we discussed the concept of the circle behind farmhouse 1906, one of the reasons DOT was opposed to that at that time was because the same reason Commissioner Clark identified, the narrowness coming out by the annex. It was actually mentioned at that point in time that the annex building wasn't there, that was more viable option. And it was also discussed with DOT and suggested that 254th become one-way and that you have angle parking on the west side of it, Cheetah Lanes over to the east. They did say that you'd probably lose the first two where it abuts DOT right away, just to make sure there was enough room for cars that backed out to go south. That's something that DOT suggested a few years
You
ago.
need to go get a job done too. Okay, and we need to move on.
Yeah.
Have we got enough to think about
Buy
here
some
tonight?
land, rent some land, lease some
Ponder on.
land.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. You did a great job. Look at all that good conversation you inspired. We appreciate you. Well done.
Thank you for your time.
Okay, are the Tates still here? Ms. Tate, did you have anything you want to say about any of that? Your name is on the sheet of paper, so it should, no, on the map of, I was told you wanted to donate that land here tonight, right now, on the spot.
Don't hold your breath, you will die.
No, somebody doesn't want to, he's still up.
I guess you're that, Mr. Mayor, no.
Anyway. Lisa Tate, good evening, everybody. I wanted to expound a little bit in response to Monty. I know you talked about the festival and how overloaded it was. The last couple of times, we have actually had to go out and rope ours off, and I spoke to Main Street, and it wasn't because we wanted to be snotty. We have some discrepancies in the land on that empty lot right now, and I was concerned for the liability, and then I just heard Mark say that you share some liability if it's a
No,
city
he was
function?
saying if we lease it.
Oh,
we
I got
lease
you.
it.
Gotcha,
We can
gotcha.
share own the liability if we can lease it.
Got you. And that
That
would be
releases
something that we
the-
would certainly entertain, but that was our reasoning the last couple of festivals, and I just missed the boat this time. Fortunately, I have some branches over the places where people shouldn't be
I was
walking
gonna
and
say, I saw a lot of
parking.
people parked over there this time.
There were a lot, and the other thing, the first time, instead of parking parallel along our front, they actually were nose in, and there were like 20 cars there, and that was kind of interesting, like, they were almost touching our white fence.
Wow.
So, that was new,
Little
that,
nerve-wracking.
to park like that. Usually you can get 5 or 6 down the street, but
Yeah.
there were probably 15 in there and filled all day long.
Yeah.
So, but yes, we are,
Thank you guys for being such gracious neighbors downtown. We do
well, we
appreciate
try,
you. Yeah.
and,
And we've got some exciting ideas that you and I have talked about, and hopefully.
yeah, I think,
some of those
I
will
think
come
we're
to
open, I
fruition.
don't know. Jeff, do you have anything to say?
No, he said he wanted to donate the land, so
He made it very clear.
So Jeff Tate, I'm the husband of Lisa Tate.
It's a good title to have.
And the land is not going to be donated. So thank you very much for your inquiry on that. I am a philanthropist. We moved downtown. We knew when we moved downtown we would be in the middle of a lot of activity, and we are happy to host, but we want to make sure we do that in a very safe way. And so that's really all I have to say.
All right. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, Mr. Lee, let's move on to the proposed joint meeting.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, City Commissioners. As you know, every year the Alachua County Board of County Commissioners hosts joint meetings with all the municipalities. They have reached out and asked if we would be interested in having our joint meeting on Monday, May 12th at 7 p.m. That's a normal City Commission meeting night. They also want to do an agenda review beforehand. So our questions for the commission are, does that day and time work for everybody? Would you like to have the meeting at Easton like we have in the past, or would you like to have it here? And are there any specific topics you'd like for us to put on the agenda? You don't have to answer the agenda question tonight. You can email me and let me know. Currently, the only item that staff really has that we would put on the agenda is the discussion of the Southwest 15th project that Manager New discussed at the last commission meeting.
Roads.
Items on the agenda, and that goes, let's have one item from us and one item from them. And that probably still is gonna take on a good 2 hours. So I understand that 15th isn't the only road, but it's a road we both have an interest in. And it's a project that we have a plan for, which is infinitely better than all the ideas that we have that we don't have a plan of how to address. This one, we have a plan. It's a mutually beneficial plan. There's lots of partners in the plan, and everyone has skin in the game in the plan. So when we don't have a plan, it just turns into, well, it's your road, we need you to fix it. And they say, well, we've got a schedule, and we'll get to you in 2032, right? This one, we have skin in the game to move forward.
So, not to get off on a tangent though, on that road on 15, I'm against spending $4 million of our money, I can tell you, for that road, but we'll get on that on another subject. But what if Gromax comes, they have a piece that they got to do, and they
That's
plan
why-
on coming out to 15.
That's why that plan is, because right now, you've got
Understand.
developers coming in too.
He's coming.
Right.
But what if the Northfleet plan don't wanna use 15th and they go out their own driveway? And is there anything in there? Because the other night it was us, the county, Northfleet, Gromax, and whoever else, and everybody kinda split the cost. But if that new project doesn't come out, is there a master plan yet on what Tripp's gonna do on the south side?
I mean, Southwest 15th is the county's collector road.
That's right.
So that's their master plan,
That's-
is for Southwest 15th to be the collector road.
That's what I'm just saying, though, there's something to look at there, and I don't know where we're gonna wind up going with that later on that, so.
To that end, Mr. Mayor, it would have to be evaluated. You have one road exiting the town center. We've got some current trip counts on that now that we've just got in today, as a matter of fact. And the county has a code section, sort of like our LDRs, that if you get the connection, you have to do some improvements. If you don't want the connection, you still have to donate some right-of-way to facilitate the future connection. But that being said, that project is slated to potentially be as many as 500 units, which equates to 5,000 trips a day.
Well, I don't need to answer, I'm just saying, there's a few things on that road that we need to seriously discuss.
Commissioner Martin?
So these two dates that you have here, Dallas, the 29th is
29th
just
is a
for those
staff review.
folks, right?
Correct.
Okay. So that doesn't necessarily really pertain to us per se. I'm fine with the 12th, and I would prefer, I don't know if Easton can accommodate us at that time of the year with sports going on. The municipal building would be just as fine as well.
Just not here.
It's a little,
Yeah, not here is just too
it's a
cumbersome.
little tight in here, but
We
the
don't have,
AV
we
is
don't
much
have
better
the,
here.
we don't have the seating on this side that we used to have,
Yeah.
so.
If we're at Easton, if Rod says that we can figure that out, somehow we've got to figure it out where the commissioners can hear, because last year the speakers were pointed at the crowd could hear all right, but the commissioners were spread so far out that if someone was talking at that end, it was really hard for anyone at the other end to hear what anyone was saying, because the speakers were going the opposite direction. I think the municipal building might be,
I think if we could put the table, the dais on the floor at the municipal building and maybe just have the speakers
we've
behind
had
us on the
streaming
stage.
problems at the,
Yes.
we can
But-
film it and then post it later, but we can't.
We could also host it at IFAS.
IFAS might be the best.
Oh, IFAS would
might
be
the
good.
best. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, that might be good.
Let's pitch that, because that would be, because it's definitely gonna be hard on Rod to fit us in. He's gonna have to move something else around, and I hate to do that. Okay, everybody's good with May 12th?
Yep.
I would say let's continue talking, because as I was sitting there listening to even our conversation on Southwest 15th, sometimes this board is a little bit better prepped and informed of conversations that are happening among management than that board is. And so I get the feeling that their board feels like they're being shanghaied, because we've had a lot of conversations, we've had staff present on it, and I've talked to different commissioners about it, but their commission, their staff hasn't made a presentation to their commission yet, so they feel like this is not fair, right? I dispute that, because I know how many of them I talked to on the phone about these plans before we meet. However, so I guess, Mr. Lee, if you could make sure, if we end up putting Southwest 15, I think that there needs to be some kind of presentation from their staff, so that Michelle is the one saying, this is the plan, this is the pitch, this is the idea, the concept, and then we can have that kind of conversation, so. Okay, everyone's good with the date?
Yes, sir.
And IFAS is good? We don't need that in a motion, we just need that in a head nod. Okay, I see we use an old agenda. We've moved citizen comment to the very beginning, because we want to make sure that we get all of our citizen comment published, before anybody wears out. So I'm gonna ask any citizen comment, come on down. If you waited here, you got 5 minutes to talk about anything that you want to talk about, wasn't on the agenda tonight. Seeing none, we'll move on to manager comments.
Mr. Mayor, I have almost successfully completed my first day as interim city manager. Nothing burned down.
Well done.
Thank you.
It did rain all day though, so that might be why it doesn't burn out, yeah.
The CRA has been awarded a $2,000 art grant from Alachua County.
Nice.
Beautification of our downtown area. As you may remember, a couple weeks ago, Jamie informed us that we were going to do traffic count throughout the city. We received those traffic counts back from our contractor, and we're currently compiling the data into a format that we can share with the city commission. As you also may remember, after Helene, we opened a temporary storm debris site out of the wastewater treatment plant for the county to use. That site have now been officially closed and cleaned up, and we got the clearance today.
Mr. Lee, will you please, whoever did the cleanup job, I've just driven by it, but they seem to have really done a nice job. They did put it all back. I was worried, I was like, oh my goodness, it's gonna be a mess when they're done, but yeah, it looks very good.
We will pass that on. And then my last comment is, about 16 years ago, I started interning here, and I had the pleasure of interning in the city clerk's office, and got to know Judy as finance director. I left for a little bit, and I got a phone call from Judy one day, and she asked me to come apply for a part-time job in her finance department, and she hired me. And so I have my career here at the city of Newberry to thank to Judy Rice. So thank you, Judy. I appreciated working with you. Congratulations on your 35 years. That concludes my comments.
And it's a fantastic story, right? Started out as an intern and now interim city manager, right? What a great story. Thank you, sir. We appreciate that. Congratulations on day one. Let's see how day two goes. Right? Mr. Attorney?
Judy, who was the city clerk when you first started? Nancy was the city clerk? And you've been through, let's see, how many city clerks since then? Geneva? Great. Well, great job. It's been absolutely a pleasure working with you, and you deserve all the recognition. You do such a great job with everything that you do, but particularly the public records. I know that we always have ourselves covered from a liability standpoint and a legal standpoint because of what you do. And I just have the utmost confidence whenever something comes in that you've got it handled. So it's a pleasure working with you, Judy. And if you want to do seminars for all the cities around how to do it, it would be good.
You'll probably end up making more money in retirement. Thank you, sir. We appreciate that. Madam Clerk?
Okay, and on that note, when Dallas came to work for the city, he said, one day, I'm going to be city manager.
Boy, have I changed my mind.
But you should remember. Yes. So, well, today's the first day of qualifying for our 2025 municipal election. And at the end of the day, we have 4 candidates that have completed their qualifying requirements. And for the office of mayor, Joy Glanzer and Tim Martin. And for Commissioner Group 4, Donald Long and Steve Panahi.
Wonderful. Well, great job, again, getting everybody on board. It's really rare we have everybody day one, right, ready to go. So,
But we are expecting more.
Some, yeah.
And, the last day is Thursday, and that's February the 27th at noon.
all right,
If you're interested in qualifying, please
hurry up.
come on in.
Hurry up. Still plenty of time. All right. Thank you, ma'am. Does that do it? All right. Appreciate you. Commissioner Coleman?
Miss Judy, thank you for everything you've done for me for the last, is it 12, 14
Now,
years?
she's not leaving next night.
Everybody would do, appreciate all the help through the years with me. And good luck to all the candidates, and I hope that everybody will keep it cordial.
I agree. Commissioner Clark?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, a couple things. Number one, God bless this country and God bless those that are employed with what we have going on. But we had a meeting this week with the Veterans Memorial with boots on the ground. We had the Ulrich Construction, Debbie, Boyd, myself, and the staff from the city, and everything is moving right along. But we will be having guaranteed a grand opening on Memorial Day, and all the little stuff will be fine-tuned here, but at 10 o'clock in the morning or 10:30, we will be having the ceremony. So that's all a guarantee in the construction plan. So, and look forward to this week to having another meeting to get this thing done and in the air. So, appreciate it.
10:30, Mark.
Bricks, so, thanks, Commissioner Farnsworth. Bricks have been bought and paid for on this first round, over 400. But and even since the closing, Debbie is now still getting 2, 3 a day, 8 a day on, so they're still rolling in. The staff has actually said that if Brick Markers allows us, we will put that order in just like we're doing now, even though they won't be guaranteed on that shipment. The staff will drive to West Palm and pick them up to get them and put them in this, in the memorial. So whatever we have ordered, we hope to have here. So, but the bricks will be ordered after this point. There's over 1,500 sites, and we've got about 400 and something bricks. So we got plenty of room for people to buy in.
Yeah, possible, can we push it to 10:30?
10:30.
I want to try and make that, for sure.
Yeah. Is that when you get the brown truck to Newberry?
Oh, yeah. I get here at 10.
I'll do everything I can to revolve around UPS.
Straight there.
It's gonna be a great, and it's not gonna be long, it could be hot, so we really look to keep this thing
Is it a holiday?
short and sweet and about, it's gonna be Memorial Day.
Memorial Day is a holiday.
Memorial Day at 10:30.
But you
Oh, for
work
y'all? But anyway, it'll
Yeah,
be
he'll
good.
be off.
Okay.
Well done.
You said you'd be off, right? That's the end of May, right? Memorial Day is the end of May?
I'm sorry. There's too many conversations going on. Commissioner Farnsworth was trying to get more bricks in. Commissioner Clark says the initial phase 1 is in. We're going to do everything we can to get phase 2 in. We've established Memorial Day is a holiday. You're still working that holiday, so you're you're off.
good.
See, 10 o'clock in the morning is good. We can move it to 9:30. I like the heat problem, right? What was your question? I'm a teacher, so I can juggle a lot of
Memorial's
things now.
the end of May, right?
End of May, the Memorial Day.
May 26th.
We actually have a commission meeting that day,
Yeah, we don't. It's not a
scheduled,
holiday
but,
usually.
scheduled,
Yeah,
but.
we put them on the calendar for a year out.
Okay,
You got
yeah,
it.
yeah.
That good?
That's it.
Commissioner Farnsworth.
I have nothing.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Well, he had his part over there. Commissioner Martin?
Well, I had a commitment on Saturday, so I'm glad that the barbecue thing went as well as it did. So that's always good. I like the conversations that we're having, always looking forward, so let's keep it up.
Commissioner.
Let me jump to it. Okay, thanks for everybody showing up. This is always good to have people come in and, express their feelings and how they feel the city's going. Judy, congratulations on your years of service for the city. I remember when I first came in as commissioner, you took me by the hand, told me what I could and what I could not do, walked me around the city. I remember walking across the street, take me in the back, showing me things over there. You will always have a spot. She's not leaving right now, but still, I'm going to miss you dearly. There's others that have left that I still miss and think of, but I'm going to miss you, and I want you to know that. I will miss you.
I'm not going to miss you because I know right where you live. Yeah. And I'm planning on swinging by and having a cup of sweet tea.
Sweet tea?
Yeah. That's what you do on the porch. You have sweet tea.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Now, so instead of doing a joke, I wanted to do a contribute to Black History Month. Does anybody know who Garrett Morgan is?
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
It's a good one. One more time? BET. You mean like Black Entertainment, or you mean like making a, what do you mean?
He was a little bit before that.
He was way before that. Yeah, this is history. This is Black history. So, Garrett Morgan was? Okay,
He
we're
beat
gonna.
out Oprah Winfrey? I'm sorry, we're getting off of his.
Actually, no. There was one before Oprah Winfrey,
yeah.
and you know what? As a matter of fact, I'll tell that one my next, and it was a female. As a matter of fact.
No, first millionaire was first millionaire.
Hair products. Her name's going to come to me saying in a second. All right,
Yes,
Garrett Morgan.
yes, they were hair
Tell Garrett
product.
Morgan.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, although Garrett Morgan did invent, the hard iron straightener for your hair and other products. But anyways, so he was a Black American inventor. Okay, he was born March 4th, 1877, and he passed July 27, 1963. Now, he invented the three-way position traffic light. Okay, and so and he patented it in 1923, which later on he sold to GE. Yes, he sold, later to GE, yes. In the patent, this was his statement. This invention pertains to traffic signals, more specifically to those that can be manually operated to control traffic flow and are designed to be placed close to an intersection of two or more streets. Additionally, my idea envisions the production of a signal that may be easily, affordably produced. He also he had a few inventions. He also invented what is called the safety hood. Do you know what that is? Okay, so the safety hood, his invention, it saved a few from a collapse of a cave, which had hazardous air flow. So he took 4 of his safety hoods and went in and saved 2 and found 17 bodies and rescued them. So now we know the safety hood to be a hazardous mask, hazmat or face mask. Sorry, yes, which we use today. So just a little long history for you, if you didn't know.
Hey, did he say anything about them stop signs like where 4 roads coming?
I'm not getting into that.
Okay.
We're not jumping into that. We're going to leave that alone. Stay away from it. Stay away from that.
Well, that's good. I like the changing it up. They can't be dad jokes every time.
No.
Right? I like it.
No.
Well done. I want to once again express my gratitude to the staff for the State of the City speech. It was a phenomenal event. I couldn't believe how many people were there. We were pulling out chairs all the way up until the very beginning. And I also want to say I'm sorry because y'all did so much more. Y'all accomplished so much more. And every year, the struggle for the State of the City speech is how to get every accomplishment in and not be there till midnight, you know? So we try to be clever. I try to talk fast. But the list of awards, 700, what did you get? 700 tons of debris for storm debris, one business for every 6 houses. I mean, it's bringing everybody in so that our residents can come to one place and get everything they need. I mean, it truly is amazing, the foresight that our staff has. You guys say, we need to do it, and you guys go figure out how to make it happen. And every time I hear someone say, well, man, government moves so slow, I think, well, I don't know what city you're in, because in Newberry, we're getting stuff done all the time. And if you ever doubt that, all you ever got to do is come to a State of the City and hear about it. And so I don't know, when I hear criticism on social media about things, I don't quite understand where that comes from, because I see the work that you guys do. I see the work that our clerk's office does. And I know that everyone is working way more than 40 hours a week, because it's a labor of love. And I don't know that anybody can do any more. And it's wonderful to have a night to celebrate that. And all of the people out there who have negative things to say, I wish they'd just take a little bit of time to ask questions and get to know you guys, because it's amazing what y'all do, and I appreciate it. I want to say thank you to Main Street. We said it before, but this weekend was great. It was wonderful. It's one of the things that we tried to highlight at the State of the City, that what makes Newberry special. We've got you guys, we've got the Chamber, we've got the Watermelon Festival folks, we've got the Garden Club that does the Garden of the Month, right? And all of these little things that just pull the community back together, right? And remind us that we're together. So I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all the high school kids that got there at 7 o'clock in the morning when it was freezing cold and pitched right in, helping people set up tents and all that kind of stuff. That's another thing that makes Newberry special, is from young kids to people in Commissioner Farnsworth age bracket. They all pitch in to help out, right? 21 years Commissioner Farnsworth been on this dais. 21 years. It's amazing also. So thank you. I know I saw a poll about the student government at the high school hosting a debate. I had actually told the kids that they would probably be off this year, because it was my intention to run, and I didn't want to create a conflict of interest in case someone ran against me. I'm not running this time, so it's less of a conflict of interest. I do have a little bit of the same concern that Commissioner Coleman has. I hope that everybody can keep it clean. I think one of the benefits of having students run the debate is that we're reminded that our young people are watching, and so generally when we're in front of kids, we try to be the adults that we teach them to be, instead of the adults that sometimes we are when we get on social media. So, I will certainly talk to the principal about that, share those concerns, see if there's something we can do to mitigate that, maybe get some commitments from all the candidates that they can be adults, they can be professional. The questions will be professional, I understand it's politics, so sometimes we have to ask ourselves hard questions, but there's a way to be agreeably disagreeable, and then there's a way to just be mean. And a lot of the comments around right now seems to be more in the mean section than in the, hey, I really have a disagreement with you and I want to have a productive conversation to see if we can come to an understanding, not necessarily agreement, but understanding of each other's position. I believe that's called civil discourse. So if I can be assured that my students, because nothing much gets me mad, you can pretty much say anything you want to about me, and it doesn't rattle me very much. But if you make my students uncomfortable, or you begin to go after my students, that changes my personality fairly quickly. And so I just need to make sure that they're protected. Otherwise, I think it's great. I love their involvement. I love getting them involved. I think it's been wonderful every other year. But we do seem to have a new element that's kind of moved into Newberry, and they have a little bit different way of going about behavior. So I just need to think on that a little bit, and I need to talk to the principal about that a little bit. All right, that does it for me. I appreciate all you guys. I appreciate everybody coming tonight. We are adjourned.